Welcome to my channel. My name is Sandy. My channel name is Let's Get Fit with Sandy. If you follow me, you know on my daily vlog that this week I'm devoted my week to healthy living. So I found an article. I'm going to leave a link in the description box below if you want to go to the article to read it. But this is my interpretation of the article that I read, and it's just called Healthy Eating. What they stress in the article is that healthy living is not about being having perfection or being super skinny or depriving yourself of anything that you really like to eat. It's a matter of figuring it into your daily life, and because let's face it, we're all going to go to parties, we're all going to go to barbecues, we're all going to go to restaurants and eat out. And I am one of the people that when I go to a restaurant, even though there is a healthy, heart smart menu, I don't order from that. I figure that I can make a healthy meal at home, and my indulgence is when I go out to eat food that I enjoy. That doesn't mean that every time I go out to eat that I'm going to eat something wrong. I make a point of at least having like a salad or a vegetable or something, which I never did in the past. So I've reorganized my life around that. Also, I'm never going to be super skinny. I'm old anyhow. I am never going to be in a bikini or a two-piece bathing suit. Those days are far gone for me. They just are. But that doesn't mean I don't want to look good in my clothes. I don't want to feel good when I enter a room. If people are looking at me, I don't want them to look at me because I'm overweight. I'd like them to look at me like I look like I'm in shape. Or I would really like for them to say, for a woman her age, she looks really good. That's my goal in life, really. But I guess I really don't care too much about what people think. It's more important what I think about myself. And I think that the only one in life that you really need to please 100% of the time is yourself. Don't ever doubt yourself, and don't ever let yourself down. Always know that you're worth it. You're worth that little bit of effort. And eating healthy doesn't have to be overcomplicated either. The cornerstone of a healthy diet should be to replace processed foods with healthy foods whenever you can. You're occasionally going to have those Cheetos. You're going to have chips and dip. You're going to have cake. You're going to have donuts. You're going to have all of those things in your life. But my past was that I had them on a daily basis. Every day I had something that was not healthy. I had a lot of processed food in my life. Now I have less processed food in my life. That doesn't mean that I don't have processed food in my life, but I've replaced it with healthy foods, whereas before I might sneak in a healthy food every once in a while. Now I sneak in a processed food every once in a while. And it's working for me because I have lost 81 pounds on WW. And I have every intention of within the next 2 or 3 months hitting the 100 pounds. I'm a slow loser. My goal for this year is just a pound a week. We're 9 weeks in, and I've lost 9.2 pounds. So I'm meeting my goals that I've set for myself for this year. We have to remember when we're eating healthy that we have to have the proper balance between proteins and minerals, and we all hate this word, but fats. You definitely need healthy fats in your diet. If you want to succeed, you have to get from all food groups. Like at the beginning, I put the pyramid to show you. The bottom is the things that they encourage you to eat, and as you work your way to the top, those are the things that they suggest that you kind of limit a little bit. Some of the things that you need for a healthy diet, very first on the list is protein. Protein gives you the energy to get up and go. But some people, if you have kidney disease, too much protein can be bad. So always check with your doctor just to make sure. But I find that when I eat something with protein, it gets me to my next meal. I'm not feeling as hungry and not needing to snack as much because proteins are very filling. That doesn't mean that you have to eat all animal products as far as proteins, because proteins is found in a lot of things. They're found in eggs and chicken and what else? Fish. They give, those particular ones give you amino acids. Now, a lot of the plant-based proteins don't necessarily give you the amino acids, which you do need. So balance it out with grains, vegetables, and nuts. I know that a lot of people don't like to eat nuts because they're very high in points, very high in calories, but it's a healthy fat. The same with an avocado. An avocado is very high in calories and points, but the fat that are in it is a healthy fat, and that's a fat that you do need. Once again, with the fats, you want to make sure you have good fats, because the good fats protect your brain. We all know that the bad fats are the trans fats and the saturated fats. We know this. We don't need me telling you that. It's just stuff that we do know. But some of the healthy fats are olive oil, canola oil, or peanut or sesame oil. And once again, avocados, olives, nuts, peanut butter, sunflower seeds or pumpkin seeds. I haven't had, tofu too, or soy milk. I've never had tofu. I never have. It just doesn't look or sound good, and it doesn't look appetizing to me at all. But, to each their own. That's why there's so many food groups out there, so we can all pick and choose which ones we like. Fiber, we need fiber in our everyday life. If you get it from grains, vegetables, nuts, beans. It helps you to stay a little bit more regular when you eat it. It lowers your risks for heart disease, and it improves your skin too. It's just all the way around good for your body. If you think back to our ancestors, all of these food groups, they ate on a daily basis. They didn't have processed foods like we have now. And sure, it's easier now to go and grab something that's already made. My grandmother used to make homemade bread, and people don't. Now we go to the store and buy a loaf of bread. They had to really use the plants, use the food from the ground, and things like that. And so that's why they were healthier. We also need a lot of calcium. Not enough of the calcium contributes to osteoporosis, anxiety, depression, and a lot of times sleep difficulties. I have no problems with my sleeping. I do suffer from anxiety, but I think I get enough calcium, but obviously I must not be getting enough. I have, since I was 16, suffered from panic attacks. I get them on a pretty regular basis. Now I know how to control them, but when I was younger, I always thought I was going to die. And maybe when I was younger, when I first was diagnosed with anxiety, maybe the doctor should have told me to eat a little bit more calcium, because now so much when I have it, I don't know that the panic attacks are caused from a deficiency in my diet or just psychologically sometimes. But I probably average at least 1 or 2 a month, which is sad. But now that I'm able to recognize it, they're not as bad. What I do when I have an anxiety attack is I judge it on a scale of 1 to 10, and then I figure out how long I need to stay calm, be conscious of my breathing, be aware of my surroundings, focus on a certain item for that amount of time. I have had like 15s. I really have had really bad ones. But we're to the point where I think I'm having a heart attack and I think I'm going to die. But I take my time now. I breathe. I do my little breathing exercises, and I'm able to manage myself through them. Carbohydrates, that's another word we don't like. A lot of people say, oh, I can't eat carbs. But our body needs it because it's one of the main sources of energy for our body. But a lot of it comes from stuff that we shouldn't really eat a lot of, which is unrefined carbs, are like potato chips and things like that, white bread, pastries, starches, sugars. We just know that you should try to not eliminate them, but not have them in your diet as much as maybe you do. Just try to keep it back. Most of your complex carbohydrates come from vegetables and whole grains and fruits and things like that. I think raspberries and strawberries are a good source of carbohydrates, which are good carbs, which is probably why I eat so many of them. I don't know. But switching to a healthy diet doesn't have to be an all or nothing, process, because a better approach to it would be to make small changes every day. Just make us, like if you're used to having a very high fat breakfast, maybe you have like pastries for breakfast. One day a week, maybe try to avoid having that pastry for that breakfast and replace it with some sort of fruit. Try having an egg instead of like a big bowl of cereal. Cereal is good once in a while, but some cereals are just really high in carbs, and you really have to be careful with them. Set yourself up for success, because the more you cook at home, the more likely you are to know what's in your foods, because obviously if you go to a restaurant, a menu is going to tell you what's in the food. But like, a prime example is when you order scrambled eggs. I have a friend that was a cook at a restaurant. And at a lot of restaurants, what they do is they add pancake mix to the scrambled eggs to make them a little bit fluffier. So you think you're ordering scrambled eggs, which you are, but you're also getting pancake mix in it to make them a little bit fluffier. You don't know what kind of butter they're using in the pan to make the eggs and things like that. A lot of times if you're really on something and you really want to be cautious of what you're ordering, tell the server that you have an allergy to a particular type of food. The last thing a restaurant wants you to do is have an allergic reaction to any of their foods. And so they're going to go out of their way to make sure. Sometimes when you're ordering vegetables, they're like tossed in oil. And you tell them you're allergic to that, and they'll make a point of making sure that it's just, like it's really truly steamed. Drink plenty of water, obviously. Water just is the all-around perfect beverage, if you really think about it. Try to put some fruit or some cucumber slices or something in it if you want to jazz it up a little bit. Buy those little Crystal Light packets if you're not really a big water drinker. It's better to put those little Crystal Light packets in it than to drink a can of pop or soda. Even diet pop is not good for you. So, try to avoid that too. And read the labels on particular items that you're buying. If you can't pronounce a lot of the ingredients, do you really want to put that in your body? These are other lists that they tell us is don't think of foods as off limits. Always incorporate any kind of food that you want in your diet, because if you don't put it in your diet and you completely eliminate it, you're going to end up binging on something. So just work it into your plan. You don't have to have a donut every day, but like if you want to have a donut once a week, figure it into your food diet for the day. I know they say it's not a diet, but anytime you eat anything, it's a diet as far as I'm concerned. Try to think of smaller portions. That's why you should get out your measuring cups, your measuring spoons, get out your scale. Sometimes if you weigh stuff on a scale, you really get more than you really thought. But if you try to eyeball something, you're going to probably be using more than you really think you should. Not that you think you should, it's more than you thought it was. That's what I meant. Take your time when you're eating. They say to take a bite and put your fork down. Nobody's going to do that. But, just really be aware of what you're eating. Enjoy the taste of it. Give your mouth and your brain time to realize, your taste buds and your brain to realize that this is really good what you're eating. A lot of times if you eat with others, if you eat alone, you have a more of a tendency to overeat, because you're not really focused on what you're eating. You're just more focused on watching TV, or that's why you shouldn't eat TV. You shouldn't eat in front of a TV. You should just like sit down and be concentrating on your food. I'm guilty of eating in front of the TV. I don't eat unless it's like dinner time. My husband and Jim and we sit at the table and eat our dinner together. But you're talking with people too, so you're less likely to eat more foods. Limit your snack foods. What I like to do is I like to put my unhealthier snacks behind the healthy snacks. So I have to move the healthy snacks out of the way to get to the unhealthy snacks. That's not to say that I don't eat an unhealthy snack, because I do. But I don't eat it as much as I used to, because I used to only eat unhealthy snacks. Control your emotional eating. If you're going to eat just to eat, think, why am I eating? Did so-and-so bother me? Did I have a bill come in that I didn't really expect? Am I just not feeling well? Think about why you're eating. Are you really truly eating because you're hungry? Sometimes you're just thirsty. Try to drink a big tall glass of water and then wait for a couple minutes to see. And if you're still hungry after that, then it truly is hunger. But 9 times out of 10, I bet you it's just because you're thirsty. Try to add more fruits and veggies to your meal. Even if you have to just put like one little broccoli spear on your plate. That's one more piece of broccoli or piece of vegetable that you wouldn't have had. Replace like pickles are low in points on Weight Watchers, but try to replace the pickles with some cucumber slices. Same difference, just the way they're made differently. Plan quick and healthy meals. Figure out your menu for the week. Figure out when you're grocery shopping what you're going to have each day of the week, and try to plan a healthy meal. At least one meal a day. Try to plan at least one healthy meal a day. And when you're shopping, Do the perimeter of the store, because if you do the outside of the store, that's where all the healthy foods are. All the processed foods in the middle of the store. But I'm going to try to follow all of these plans, and we'll see how it works, because this is my year. This is my week to eat healthy, and not just this one particular week, but this is the week I've decided to concentrate on eating healthy. And I know that I'm going to be successful this year because I'm more aware of what I'm eating, and I'm more aware of the pitfalls of the grocery store when I'm shopping, if you know what I mean. So if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, hit that like button, and share it if you think somebody might like to see it. And once again, the link to this article is in the description box down below. So if you're new to my channel, please come over to see me on my daily vlog.